right. Hey, Seth.
Hey, Allie.
So, as we're kind of finding our voice and workshopping ideas, I thought we could try something new for a news segment. And we're gonna call it Seth and Allie Take a Shot at the News. So it's like a
Mhm.
triple entendre, which is, I mean, what's better than a double entendre than a triple entendre? So, take a shot at the news first implies that we're going to try and find news stories that are interesting to us and hopefully interesting to our audience, and stories that won't time out since there's a delay between recording and when we actually go to air. Take a shot at the news is also poking fun at the news, at the absurdity of our news cycle, because, everyone is constantly reporting breaking news. We're always talking about breaking news and it is stressful. And so I think it feels good to kind of try and find levity in some of these stories when we can. And then the third take a shot at the news is we're going to take an actual shot at the news because this news sucks, y'all. So hopefully, one shot a week, we can get through these news stories with some of our sanity still in check. So cheers, Seth.
Cheers, Allie.
Let's take a shot at the news.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, once a week. Okay. First story, and this is actually breaking news. So, President Trump has appointed Erica Kirk to serve on the U.S. Air Force Academy Board of Visitors, taking the position her late husband Charlie was slated to hold before he was assassinated in September. So, Erica is joining this panel that oversees morale, discipline, curriculum, and fiscal affairs at the academy. I I cannot.
I mean,
First of all,
just,
go ahead.
just another appointee by Trump who is unqualified to do their job. Just another DEI holler from, just from another loyalist. And
Mhm.
I mean, what a joke! But it's just a running joke at this point. A series of unfortunate events.
And I'm looking at like the description of the role. So overseeing the morale, I seem to recall that when this woman lost her husband, she was immediately out there doing tours. And remember that leaked call with the Turning Point members
Yep.
where she was like, "Hey, Charlie's dead." And like I know that's really dark, but let's talk about all of that merch we sold
The
and all
numbers. The
the
numbers are so good, you
donations we've
guys. We got
gotten.
we got 150,000 views. Like,
I feel like she is a morale killer, a buzz killer. I mean, it seemed like the people at Turning Point USA were more bereft than Erica Kirk could seem to muster when she took over that company.
yeah, and I mean, we just saw Kristi Noem, somebody who was also unqualified to do her job,
And that's
and
next.
and now
That's
she
number
and now she
two.
got yanked off the stage like Sandman. So, what do you think is going to happen with Erica? Just more of the same from Donald Trump.
More of the same. Another vanity project. All right. Second story that caught my eye this week. So, number two, okay, this is hilarious to me. So, first of all, this was put up by Headquarters Newsroom. Are you familiar with them, Seth?
Yeah, that they converted Kamala HQ into headquarters.
Yes.
So that is
Yes.
the
So,
new iteration of Kamala HQ. So yeah,
I
looking
loved
forward
it.
to this.
Love, love, love it. They put out news stories all day long. They make them interesting and funny, great graphics. So, she had all these geniuses that worked on her social media strategy when she was running for president. And now they are committing that time to delivering headlines in a funny and unique way. And this is one of theirs. Here's a list of Hollywood blockbusters that cost less to make than Kristi Noem's ad campaign. Now, Kristi has been fired, right? In
Yeah.
real time, Kristi has been fired, but it's still hilarious to me the amount of money that was wasted on her riding around on a horse. So let's go through some of the movies that cost less to make than that ad campaign.
All right.
Barbie, the Barbie movie.
Shut up.
Yes, the Barbie.
Wow.
Not just Barbie, Oppenheimer. The two blockbusters.
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer, yes, cost
No
less to
way.
make than Kristi Noem riding around
No,
on a horse.
that's a Christopher Nolan film.
Mhm.
On top of Barbie, who, not a cheap movie to make either. I mean,
Neither of them.
but this is a great example of like just how much money was wasted. And now she's
Incredible.
out on her ass. So great job.
Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2 cost less. Top Gun Maverick. Come on now, Seth. I mean, think
Yo.
about these films. Think about the production
Mm-hmm.
cost of making these films, all of
Oops.
the special effects. The Hunger Games, Seth. The Hunger Games.
I mean, I'm blown away by the
Ironic name, by the
you
way.
telling me the final Harry Potter after that franchise produced untold billions of dollars, the final movie had a lower budget than Kristi Noem's DHS commercials. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. How about Iron Man? Iron Man, Seth.
Yo, you got a bigger budget than Disney.
The Matrix, Seth. The literal Matrix.
Oh my God.
The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. It is absolutely insane, but it's not surprising because this administration seems to be spending money like water. And that brings us to story number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a breaking story from today, but I think we're going to be talking about this a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Pentagon has been caught spending $93 billion in a single month. That would have been the month of September 2025. And among just a couple of things were Alaskan king crab legs, a $98,000 Steinway piano. I think I saw some kind of a one of a kind Japanese violin. Who is taking this stuff? Is it real?
Yeah, I mean,
Who ate the crab legs? Who's playing the piano?
I mean, it is a cartoonish number. I mean, we're talking about $93 billion, and they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on king crab alone. Like, how in the world is Pete Hegseth supposed to do all these pull-ups when he's eating so much king crab?
It's insane. I also saw that they spent a shit ton on a fruit basket stands.
Yeah.
What even is that? I mean, I've been in corporate America for a long time, certainly seen my share of fruit baskets. I have never seen them presented to the world on a stand. Do you even know what that? I have no idea what a fruit basket stand is.
I've never been running in rich enough circles, I guess, to have seen a fruit stand.
Me either, clearly.
That's a new one on me. But you got to spend the 93 billion somehow.
And they found a way. And I also wonder, like, are these code names? Could this be like money laundering? Like, I bought Alaskan king crab, but that actually stands for something else.
It actually stands for Bentleys.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I can't.
I can too. It's absolutely, especially right now, we are in war with Iran. It is $1 billion a day it's costing us. We have just not formally announced, but basically alluded to the fact that there are going to be troops on the ground any day now. We're struggling financially. Gas is up, cost of oil is up, healthcare costs have gone. I mean, just economically as a country, we are really hanging on by the skin of our teeth. And when I see a number like this, and I see a Pentagon using the budget, the military budget, our taxpayer dollars as basically their own personal piggy bank, it's really depressing.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about our military budget, where it is at $900 billion, and so you're telling me you had to spend a tenth of that in a use it or lose it kind of deal? So you're telling me that you've been asking for all this money, all this time, and you ran out of ways to spend it?
Exactly.
Sounds like we never needed that in the first place. Sounds like the budget is bloated. Sounds like it's almost as if the Pentagon failing their audit year after year after year after year was trying to tell us something. I don't know.
Mhm. And, the thing is, they didn't have to just spend all that money. They could have reallocated it to a program that was running short, might need another one, right? I mean, it's really it's just perverse to see this kind of spending happening, especially right now in America. But we have a couple of good news stories to end this segment on. So let's go to our fourth news story of today. You're going to love this story. So, they have done some studies and deep dive research and discovered that Costco is officially 21% cheaper than Walmart and Aldi.
Hell yeah.
Now,
Hell
even
yeah.
though they're a big box store, right? The savings that they have packed in per unit, the same way you would break down prices at the grocery store, they are finding that Costco is actually 21% cheaper than those two well-known discount stores. And we love Costco.
We do. We do.
I mean, they pay a living wage to their employees. They provide health benefits and paid time off. And not only that, they are suing the government for their tariff money back, and they've already pledged they're going to give that money back to their customers, whether it be through discounts or maybe discounted memberships. They're going to find a way to get that money back to us. And I know how much you love Costco. We talk about this all the time, Seth. Give the audience what they want. Give them your love letter to Costco.
Like, look, y'all, it is not that difficult to make money in the United States of America. And people like Costco prove it. Allie just told you about the living wage. Did I mention the stock price that's over $1,000 right now? They're hurtling towards a stock split. They have great numbers. They have great profit margins. And so now to hear that they are 20% cheaper than Walmart and other competing brands. And we're talking about, all these things that they're going to do for their customers. And while continuing, like I said, to make a bunch of money, you don't
Yeah.
have to be greedy in the United States of America to make money. I mean, just 50, 60 years ago, we had a massive corporate tax bracket. Why do you think that is? Because we wanted to keep people's profits down? No, people were making money back then. It's about the greed. It's about the CEOs and the CFOs and the C class making outrageous sums of money at the top levels while giving
And just
their employees nothing.
and to compare, right? So the Costco CEO, I believe, makes $950,000 a year, while the Walmart CEO, in contrast, makes, I believe, 15 million plus
Oh,
stock options and bonuses. So there is a way to be ethical and be, abundant in a capitalist society.
period.
Costco is the template. They are the gold standard. I love Costco, can't say enough. And they're cheaper. Please go get a Costco membership. Let's get Walmart out of here.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, especially if you've got a family, I mean, this makes all the sense in the world. You don't have to question yourself ethically, and
Mhm.
you're gonna save 20% as a family. I think we can all agree right now that that's gonna come in clutch in the next 6 months to a year as we go through this crisis in Iran.
All right. So our final news story of the week. As you know, I'm still getting over the fact that Jasmine Crockett lost her bid for the Senate primary in Texas. Took that one hard. But James Talarico is the winner of that primary. Jasmine, so on brand, immediately conceded, immediately called for unity in the party. She's such a class act. It's why we love her. It's why we rooted for her, right, Seth? I mean, we know Jasmine by this point.
Exactly. And I mean, in our last episode, we were leaning Talarico in our predictions to win, not
Right.
necessarily who we wanted to win. Jasmine is somebody who is uncompromising, who is progressive, who is a young leader. James is really all of those things, except for we're not sure about the compromise. There are ties to Miriam Adelson. There are weird rumors swirling around him in terms of how he spoke about Colin Allred and his
Mhm.
race. He addressed some of those in the Stephen Colbert interview, which was heavily suppressed by the FCC, which you could blame right there that sent him skyrocketing, into the public sphere and maybe
You
won
said
him that
something right
race.
there, Seth. You said something right there.
Yeah.
I don't I love Stephen Colbert. I believe he is as uncompromised as you can get.
Yeah.
However, I wouldn't put it past CBS to pull this shit, which they've never done before, to create a scandal where James Talarico overnight is a household name across America. So the timing on that whole situation was very interesting to me. But here we are. We're going to embrace James Talarico. We're going to hope the best for him and hope that he does not end up being a wild card like a John Fetterman or a Cinema or Manchin. But in good news, it looks like he is leading both GOP candidates in the Senate race so far.
Yeah. The
Wild.
even though we have to side eye James at this moment as a party, certainly as progressives, we have to side eye him. The advantages, right, are that he is a guy that can reach across the aisle. He is a guy who looks like a lot of centrist Republicans. He is a guy who looks like a lot of Texans. He also has the Talarico name. That obviously is a Latino name. So he has that in his blood. So he is able to reach across the aisle. And not that Jasmine isn't, but we know that America was and still is largely not ready for women of color and women, period, to lead this country in any major capacity. And so that's a damn shame. But at least we know that James can reach across the aisle and lead in polls guys like Cornyn. And we need that. We desperately need that now because we need wins. I still believe Jasmine would have won. The polls were pointing in that direction. She had the momentum, but if we have to look at a bright spot, we understand that James Talarico, because of what he looks like and the way that he presents Christianity, the way that he is progressive with Christianity and talks about Jesus and a lot of his progressive views for back in the day, it certainly is not a bad choice to throw up against somebody like a John Cornyn. And Trump is already doing his damage there, right? He's calling for the runoff to be canceled and for his chosen candidate to be propped up there. And Ken Paxton is not going to deal with that. Ken Paxton is not dropping out. So, while James Talarico is able to load up for May and the rest of the midterm, John Cornyn and Ken Paxton are going to have to go through a swirl of mudslinging and fighting for Donald Trump's MAGA, his cosign. So, I think all of that, despite Jasmine not winning, is a win for us overall.
Yeah, I know. And like I said, we will embrace him. He is our guy, right? He is our candidate.
We need wins.
And of course we want
to just need wins, Allie. Like we need wins.
We want to see
we need to flip the Senate.
Blue.
But we gotta flip the Senate, y'all. Let's understand.
I get it.
Yeah, what's our goal? Our goal is to flip the Senate. We got to do that.
Our goal is to flip the Senate. And I do think that he is a refreshing candidate from a Democrat perspective. He's not the typical, right? So I can see him really using his seminary experience and all of his biblical knowledge to push back against some of these Christian nationalist people that have been entrenched into our government. I think that would be really interesting to see and really effective in pushing back against that. So we're going to see how this race plays out. I love to see that he's up in the polls already. Yeah, more to come on that one. So that's it for the news this week. And speaking of, we need to win, don't forget to check out our last interview with Tim Sawinski. We just wrapped another interview with somebody we're really excited about. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You're going to have to stay tuned for that. But it's somebody out of New York, and he's challenging somebody we all know. So stay tuned for episode 3 of Left Out Loud. This has been fun. cheers. We'll be doing this again for sure.
Oh, I'm down. I'm feeling frisky.
You
Let's
feeling
go.
loosey goosey? All right, Seth. I'll see you soon.
All right, see you.